All right, so we'll continue. Dan, the numbers guy, is here, and Dan, I know you have some numbers. Before you're done, talk to us.
Zainab, I see. You know, you're not done dealing with my name, but by the time a number of hours is through, it'll be a done deal. If you know what I mean.
You got me on that one.
So this election is quite something, as you can see, and as you would expect. And so there's some key people who we need to look out for in this election, who are very significant to the electoral process. This is not to put aside the voter. The voter is very important. The politicians, the candidates are also very important. But there are individuals who lead various institutions who are very important. First, which should be almost obvious, but we don't want to have any assumptions, is Wafula Chebukati. He is the chairman of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And he is also, yes, this gentleman on my right, he is also the man who's the returning officer for the presidential election. He's the only one who's mandated by law to announce the presidential results and declare the president-elect. And that is the first person, the first key person in this election race. The other key person is EZRA CHILOBA, who, in the last election was under Chebukati, but this time he's key not because of the IEBC connection, because he's no longer under IEBC, but because he's the Director General of the Communications Authority of Kenya. Now, Chiloba has, and the CA at large have a significant role in this election. Now, this time, the CA is the state agency that will play the critical role of ensuring IEBC is working with the telecommunication companies to ensure that there are connectivity services to IEBC, so as to ensure seamless transmission of results from polling stations to constituency, county, and national tallying centers without delay. Another key role under Chiloba's watch is us guys, the media, to monitor the different media platforms to ensure they adhere to the programming code during the electioneering period, and that is not just now when the votes are ongoing. The electioneering period cuts across even before we began voting today. Now, the next person who is significant in this election is Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Now, this man is the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, which is a key role, and he also has some significant influence in regards to the cabinet operations, as was handed to him through an executive order. Now, Matiang'i is the person under whom the security agencies sit and follow instructions. So for him, he's the man under whom the internal security agencies sit, that includes the intelligence, the police, and the broader national government administrative officers, or NGAO, as they are known. And they are very key. These are very key as they ensure the security of the election, the votes, the voters, and the officials who ensure that the process is what it should be. Now, the other person who answers to Matiang'i but is also significant, and we point out, is the man in blue. That's Hilary Mutyambai, the Inspector General of the National Police Service. Now, Mutyambai is the man who will oversee the deployment of 150,000 special officers drawn from partner agencies such as the Kenya Prison Services, the National Youth Service, the Kenya Wildlife Service, and the Kenya Forest Service in the over 46,000 polling stations. Now, the National Tallying Center as well, and some strategic areas to ensure safe environment for voters as they cast their votes, with only just under an hour and a half. That means if a football match started now, it wouldn't end when we're still voting. So that is what he's responsible for, just to make sure there's that safety. He has also established a police unit, the formed police unit as FPU, to offer tactical support to general duties before, during, and after the polls. Now, the next person who's of key importance in this whole process is the lady of our list, that is Martha Koome, the Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Now, the judiciary is set to settle matters on persons aggrieved by the results of the polls, and the Supreme Court gives such contestants 7 days from the day of the declaration of election results to file their petitions. So, there are keen eyes on CJ Koome, especially in light of what her predecessors have had to deal with. That is, first in 2013, the then Chief Justice Willy Mutunga, who then upheld the election of Uhuru Kenyatta, and in 2017, David Maraga, who then nullified that election. And so, in case there is an election dispute, a petition, especially a presidential one, a lot of focus will be on this lady and her team at the Supreme Court as they make the decision and the ruling on the same, which will then determine if there's a petition, that is, whether we go into another election or otherwise. So a lot of focus is on her. Now, last but not least, definitely, is the man who is waving goodbye to Kenya in regards to his position, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, as per the Constitution. Now, he is the current President of the Republic of Kenya and the head of state, who also holds a key role, because he is the commander-in-chief of the defense forces, is expected to, in all his power, ensure that there is peaceful transition from himself to his successor, and that is in line with the constitution. So this is also a very key individual in this election, and he'll also be the man to convene the first sitting of the 13th parliament. So those are some key people to, to keep our eyes on when we talk about this whole electoral process. A lot of focus easily goes to Bwana Chebukati, who was the first person who we paraded on our floor here, but we also have to look at these 5 other individuals alongside many others, but these are very key when it comes to the elections and the implications of any of the activities that happen during this time before today, as we go through the night and up to the time when Chebukati shall sing, so to speak.